Hello my lovelies, and welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bricks, bookish things, spooky things, whatever takes my fancy, to be honest. I was going to do a little tour of my books and Lego. I thought that might be quite fun, which I'm going to do in a minute. I was going to do like a daily vlog, but frankly my life's pretty boring. I'm mainly housebound. I'm sitting outside at the moment because the rain's finally stopped, so I'm out here with my cup of tea. And yesterday I went to see my stepson and his partner and my lovely granddaughter, and lots of cuddles, and that was lovely, although the weather was atrocious and the travelling there was a bit of a nightmare. Everywhere was flooded. I'm in Devon, by the way, just in case anybody knew, and they don't know. I was going to do a vlog a day in my life, but frankly I got up this morning at 6 o'clock. I had a cup of tea, and then I haven't done anything else really, because I am wiped out from yesterday. I'm in a lot of pain from the travelling, so I haven't really done anything else. So I thought I'd give you a little tour of my books and my bricks. Well, the ones that are downstairs. This is all over my house. But yeah, I thought that might be interesting for you. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I see a lot of vlogs of people doing days of my life, and I love to watch them. But the majority of us, I think, we live pretty boring lives, don't we? We get up. If you're retired like me, you pootle about and do bits around the house, and then sit and do whatever you got to do. And if you are working, you get up, you go to work, you come home, you eat your tea, and you go to bed. So I think sometimes it can be unrealistic what you see online. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this is not, people only really do vlogs about days that are interesting, which is understandable, isn't it? Because your average life is pretty, it's pretty normal and boring. But anyway, I'm going to show you around, and yeah, so we'll see how we go, because I'm not on my tripod. So this could be a bit shaky, because I'm not a professional camera person. I'm not a professional anything, well, apart from my career obviously, but I'm retired from that. But so yeah, here we go. Here's a little tour of my living room. First of all, this is a very realistic view of a lived-in house. There's one cat. That's Shira. There's another cat. Got litter on the floor, even though I hoover it twice a day. And this is a general view of my living room. Obviously there's the door. There's obviously, this is my husband, and yeah, there's the stairs up. So yeah, it's a very realistic view. So if we go across here, this is where I usually sit to build all my videos. At the moment I'm building on Lego a medieval dragon, which is great fun. I'm halfway through doing that. This is just where I do candles. These are all my art prints, and I love horror, as you'll know if you've been on my channel for a while. There's some more horror stuff. My wedding day. There's my vintage Cindy and her wardrobe from when I was a kid. It's my granddaughter. There's some little bits and pieces. I am not a minimalist. I need to say this. There's a picture of spaceships for my husband I had done, and also a clock which is laser cut Gallifreyan, the Halloween wreath from Lego, some more photos. I'm watching Kev from the Lego house, and yeah, and this is some bits and bobs. So I love these little pots my brother-in-law bought me, and there's just some more Lego. I collect ghosts, so there's a lot of those around, and yeah, more Lego. And I really need to dust, but we'll get around to that eventually, won't we? Oh, over here, this is obviously my sofa, which is also a sofa bed. I'm just going to sit down to do this, I think, because my poor legs aren't very good. But this is the first lot of Lego. I've obviously got Yoda at the top, love him. And I love that vase, which is like a woman. Love the jar. And then you've got a huge, great big Jack skeleton that my friend Kat bought me. Some Lego flowers, some candles. There's always candles. I love candles. That's a lamp. There's obviously loads of little Lego kits. This is the one, actually, let me get up. This is the one that started it all. That Books are My Passion. That's what started off my Lego addiction. And there's lots of little kits on here that I've done. Yeah, so you can see. But yeah, and then at the top, there's my K9. It's a remote control my husband bought me. I love Keramics, love purple. There's some more kits. There's the Enid and Wednesday dorm room, and the Wednesday doll behind, the Encanto house, little brickheads, Mirabelle, the Up house, the Up characters, and then you're into my books. These are the, I think it is the Penguin limited editions, and obviously my special edition of Kin, and yeah, that Freddy Krueger one is a little planter. And then my indie horror books, some of my hardbacks, and yeah, ghosts. I collect ghosts, and a Dalek on the wall. There, as you come down, this is one of my red bookcases, and I can't. The back of here is such a mess because it's where I store stuff. But this whole bookcase is absolutely full, as is that one there. But this one here, you can see down here, I've just bought myself a tuxedo cap. That's the Milky Way there, and behind it is Starry Night by Van Gogh. Here we have more books, all my Terry Pratchett collection. I've got every single one he's written, and I've read them so many times they've fallen apart. There's the Wednesday Lego and the Haunted House, and some more books. They all go to the bottom too. And then here, these are also books I've read most of these, actually, apart from a few Point Horror. There's my Lego Man and Gizmo and Hey Hey, which are my favourite builds from 2025. And the Love Sign, which I've just done. Obviously, R.L. Stein and Christopher Pike books. Down here are all books I've read. Just a bag of junk. And there's my gingerbread at-at that my cat Shira hates. So I've taken him apart after she broke him the last time. And up here, this is all my special editions. There's Tom and Jerry brickheads. I collect little squishmallows and cuddly toys. There's some more special editions. Special edition of Widows of Wine and Gal by Keelan and Patrick Burke. More special editions, my Monchichi for when I was little. Some more Lego and more books. And they go on and on. And there's Beetlejuice, which my friend Jo sent me, was made by her mum. And that little glass dome there with the ghost in was made by my friend Tracy. Then on this one, at the bottom, that's some of my backlog. And then I've got a free shelf at the moment, which is where the dragon's going to go in a minute. And then we've got some of my Lego. Let's move this out of the way. So this is the space shelf. So there's a space station, the STEM set, little dinosaur, pandas. I love that watering can. And then loads of brickheads, which I absolutely love, at the back. Next shelf is my retro shelf, record player. There's a little hamster just chilling out there. The Back to the Future car, the typewriter, which was also one of my favourite builds of last year. My little arcade, the piranha plant from Mario, and the Goonies ship, obviously. And up above is the Hocus Pocus house and Nightmare Before Christmas and a little Sally Brickhead. And then over here, this is my to be read shelves. Well, apart from that one with the Gothic on, that's all been read. But all those are to be read. That is Things Hands, but it's a planter. Then more books to be read. Landis I've just finished. And then all the way down. And this is a teddy bear in the coffin. That's so funny, isn't it? But yeah, so that's all the bookshelves in this part of the house. And yeah, so it's a mix of books and bricks. So I had to sit down because my legs are giving way. But yes, I live in a normal terraced house in Devon, 3 bedrooms. Well, 1 bedroom, 1 my craft room and office, and my late husband's collection room, which I can also show you if you like. It's full of Doctor Who and 80s toys, which I haven't had the heart to touch yet, so it's still all there. And my room up there is, I do crafting, and it's also a ritual space because I'm a witch, and It's also where my computer and my monitor is. It's where I used to work when I was working. I'm, just so if you know anything about me, I am 57 in a couple of weeks, actually on the 21st of February. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Time goes so quick, 'cause in my head I'm about 20, right? I mean, not physically. Physically, I'm about 98. And I originally came from the Midlands, and I travelled quite a lot for about 10 years around the world, and eventually ended up in Dartmouth in Devon, which is where I met my husband when I was in my late 30s. We were married for almost 16 years when he passed 2 years ago on 4th March. So now I live on my own. I'm a widow, and I like it. I'm not planning on ever having another relationship. I'm quite content on my own. Thank you very much. And also, nobody ever would be able to, compete with him ever. He was a wonderful man. I mean, we were both basically a couple of nerdy geeks. Do you know what I mean? We just poodled on together. But yes, I don't really live near any family. My family's in the Midlands. My stepchildren, my late husband's kids live in Dartmouth. One of them's in the army. So I'm on my own a lot of the time, but I do have some fantastic friends who I see. But majority of the time I'm in the house. I'm housebound. This week's a little bit mental, to be honest. Yesterday I went to Dartmouth to see my stepson and my granddaughter and my daughter-in-law. And then tomorrow, it's Tuesday as I'm recording this, Tuesday the 10th. Tomorrow I'm out with my friends Mandy and Joy. We're all retired, so once a month we go out for breakfast and find somewhere to pootle around. Well, they pootle, I sit mainly because my legs aren't too good. And then on Friday I've got loads of tests and stuff at the doctor's because they think it's my MS is becoming more progressive. So, and that's why I have disability issues. They diagnosed with fibro for a long time, but it seems that a lot of my symptoms are not. And I had an MRI about 15 years ago, but never heard anything back. But supposedly it did show signs of plaques on my brain, so I should have been being treated for MS. It's getting worse. My legs keep dropping and I keep falling and get dizzy and I'm in trouble swallowing. So I'm having lots of tests to see if they can prescribe some medication to help with that. Otherwise, I retired. I retired last July early. Obviously, I was only 56. I took early retirement. I used to work for the local government in accounts. And now I am retired. So, I'm planning on writing a series of children's books when I can, get my arse into gear because, frankly, at the moment, I've got it all plotted out. I just need to sit and write. But I've decided this year, and I don't know if this is the same for a lot of you, to be honest, and it might be, but this feels like a reset year, doesn't it? It feels like I just want to slow down and just not stress about stuff. The world is on fire. And, wherever you live in the world, the news is just depressing, isn't it? I've tried to limit my time on social media, which is difficult. And also it's difficult for everyone. I didn't grow up with it, so it's easy for me to disconnect and also for me to tell what's real and what's not. But it's sometimes my only connection to people. I can be on my own for days sometimes and not speak to anyone. And I don't mind that, but sometimes I need to speak to an actual human. Sometimes I need to be in the presence of an actual human. Do you know what I mean? We all need human connection sometimes. And I've met some really wonderful, beautiful people online. It's a book community. And now recently in the Lego community, but certainly in the book community, who have become like family to me. When I lost my husband, they were I was just astonishing. In fact, a lot of people online, my online friends, were more compassionate and loving than some parts of my family. It was astonishing, and I will be forever grateful. And some of them have become like family. And so I like to keep in touch with them. And if I do disappear offline for too long, then I get loads of messages because they worry, right? Which is adorable. And I curate my pages very carefully, so that I only see stuff I want to see. I don't like drama in the bookish or Lego community. I don't like drama at all. I am far too old and far too... just far too old to deal with it, really. And in honesty, I never really did, to be honest. So I have a very simple life. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this also have a very simple life. And so I hope that kind of connects with you in a little bit. We all have to, you know, earn money, pay our bills, and hopefully find bits of joy within it. I find bits of joy in books and Lego. And that's where I find my joy, apart from my family, obviously. So that's what I do. I am not, as I said, I'm not a minimalist. I'm a maximalist. I like to be surrounded by stuff. And I like it doesn't have to be expensive stuff. It can be tat. Do you know what I mean? I don't need designer stuff. I've had all that in the past. It's absolutely meaningless and a waste of money. And you realise as you get older, and certainly I've realised as I get older, that the only thing that's really precious in life is time, right? Because you can never have enough of it. The older you get, the more you realise you've got less left than you've had. And time is precious. Time spent with you, the people you love, time spent just being you, just doing what you love, right? Not having to worry about other people is precious, precious. So, my friends, that's me. Bit of a strange video this week, isn't it? But I'm feeling a little bit, you know, I'm in my feelings. Is that what the young people say? There you have it. But anyway, my darlings, you take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves and each other. Stay warm. Stay hydrated. Keep reading fantastic books. I'm dropping the camera. And I'll see you next week on my next upload. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. And it'd be lovely if you could subscribe. This is a very safe part of the internet. You're safe here, right? Don't tolerate any form of bullying or anything like that. And it will always be drama free. Bye, my loves. Take care.